What's more interesting is that in the analytics report that you get, now we ask, what are the trends that we're seeing over the past year? We saw something in Peter's data. That over really about the past 6 or 8, 9 months, there was an increase in his heart rate variability. This is a very beneficial sign. It's up a little bit over 27%. We'll speak offline at some point in terms of finding out what the inflection moment was, but this is the power of
Mona and Helen telling me to do high interval training and take my Zoom calls on my bike.
Because here is the data that now remotivates a commitment to that change that you made. The next thing that we really ask is fascinating. Because we've got high fidelity data, we can now cluster it with our AI analyses and say, what is predicting your best nights of sleep? And what's predicting worst nights of sleep? And what's stunning is that it's different for different people. And what we found is that when Peter had a lower heart rate and higher heart rate variability in the last few hours before bed, when he was well de-stressed, as it were, he had significantly more REM and significantly more deep sleep. We also found that when he had early and consistent bedtimes, he fell asleep faster and he slept for significantly longer amounts of time. The next thing we looked at,
and by the way, it's interesting when coming into the summit, there were a number of times where I literally was going to sleep at 8:30 so I could wake up before the family and get work done at like 4:30 or 5. Those were my best sleep scores.
Yeah.
Earlier.
And what it's telling us is that you are sleeping more in harmony with what we call your chronotype, which is morning type, evening type, or somewhere in between. We also looked at worst nights of sleep when all of a sudden things get irregular. He had worse quality of sleep, and we saw circadian rhythm abnormalities in things like his temperature. You don't want circadian rhythm abnormalities. Your body needs that 24-hour clock time for almost every enzymatic reaction.